Morning. Here we are at Humberside Airport on the day that Hull City travel out to Turkey for their week-long training camp at Riva. They've had 2 weeks so far under Sergej Jakirovic, 2 pre-season friendlies done behind closed doors, the second of which was against Grimsby Town at the training ground on Saturday. Tyrrell Sellers-Fleming, who's just walked past actually, scored the winner there. So they're already better off than they were last season when they did win any kind of pre-season game under Tim Volter, of course. So that's it. There's a group of supporters are here as well, around 30 here as part of the competition win, and they'll be staying at a city centre hotel in Istanbul. And while they are here, or while they're over there I should say, in Turkey, City will play 2 friendlies against Istanbulspor and Kasımpaşa before flying back to Humberside next Sunday. So here we are, Humberside Airport, about to fly to Turkey. Full coverage coming up across the Hull Live channels. Hello from Istanbul, where this evening Hull City and their merry band of supporters have landed ready for this week-long training camp in the blistering Turkish heat. Of course, they've had 2 weeks of it back in Cottingham, culminating in that friendly win over Grimsby Town on Saturday behind closed doors at the club's training ground. This week, they'll be based in Riva, a venue that some of the players will know really well, having been here a couple of times before. City will get their first training session in on Monday ahead of the game on Tuesday night. So as we touched on earlier today, before we left England, about 34 players have travelled, including Rida Lalui, the new signing, and obviously Gustavo Puerta. Lots of talk about whether they can or can't play for City when the season starts, owing to the ongoing issues with the EFL. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Ryan Giles is part of the travelling party as well. Semi Ajayi, Dylan Phillips, John Joe Shalvey was on the flight as well, as he looks to try and impress the manager and try to get a contract as well. So that's it from here for now. Of course, there'll be plenty of coverage throughout the week. Obviously we've got the first game on Tuesday. There's also going to be a press conference with the owner on Tuesday. That's primarily aimed at the Turkish media. We are the only UK media out here travelling with Hull City, but it is aimed at the Turkish media, as we've seen before. Then there's obviously the game on Saturday before we all fly back on Sunday. So we'll have to wait and see what happens over the course of the next few days. But everybody's here. Everybody seemed really happy. The fans even had a almost bizarre rendition of Can't Help Falling in Love when the flight landed, touchdown in Istanbul, and then what proceeded to be the longest journey from the runway to the terminal ever recorded. It was almost like somebody, plugged in an old record player, because it was very scratchy. But anyway, the fans seemed to enjoy that, and I'm sure wherever they're staying in Istanbul tonight, they'll be having a few drinks to celebrate their trip. But for the players, early night tonight, no training. They've got a gym session first thing Monday morning, and then they've got their first actual appearance on the grass at Riva tomorrow afternoon, on Monday afternoon. So it won't be in the dead of heat that we saw last year. There'll be no 2 sessions a day like we saw last year under Tim Volter. A much more kind of normal structure, if you like. So that's it from here in Istanbul. Plenty to come throughout the week, so stay tuned.